Hello and welcome to episode 52 of the Apocalyptic Knitter. My name is Naomi and I'm coming to you from Leeds in West Yorkshire, where I live with my husband, my teenage son and our cat Lego, who is fast asleep next to me here. I won't disturb her just yet. Today is Monday the 8th of June. I know it's been a few weeks since I last recorded. I've just been busy lifing and also getting the garden to a position where I want it to be. I am going to put a bit of footage at the end if you want to have a nosy on the update on where I've been with it. I've done a couple of little reels on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen them. But anyway, before we get into it, let's do the socials. Let's do them here. So on Instagram, I am Naomi Knits, and you can also find me on Ravelry as Big Bird, and here on YouTube as Apocalyptic Knitter. I've been in a little bit of a knitting funk, really. I wouldn't necessarily say that I've lost my mojo. I just feel like there's been a few WIPs that I've been working on and they just don't seem to be growing at all. And it just left me feeling a bit, as you do. So I kind of found the cure to that was to cast on a couple more items, WIPs, whatever. So yeah, even though I didn't really have any business doing that, and there we go. I am just going to show you because she looks so cute. So there we go. Anyway, just straighten myself up. Where shall I start? Well, I'm going to start with the one that I'm going to really push on today. And that is, if I can find it, is my, get it the right thing, all tangled. So that's the right way up. So this is my Elton sweater by Hohi Locatelli, and it's beautiful, but the body is just a bit of a slog. It's a lovely boxy drop shoulder, and I'm nearly there. I think I've just got a few more stripes to do and then I'm doing the rib. I made the armhole depth a bit longer, so be interesting to see how it all blocks out on this one. So it's by Hohi Locatelli, and it's just been on my list for a little while, and I just thought it was really nice. The yarns that I'm using is, I wrote it down, have I got it got it in my bag. So this beautiful magenta, which just seems to attract all the bits of fluff. This is some yarn that I got in Berlin called Zorba, and it's a standard 75-25 merino, and the colourway is, oh gosh, Beer and Samler 12727, and I got 2 skeins of this because it's on the sale table at Berlin Knits, and I thought, oh, they don't need to be in the sale table anymore. And for my floof, look at that, beautiful. That is by the Dye Shack, and it's Surrey Silk Cloud, 74% baby Surrey alpaca and 26% mulberry silk. And same again, I got 2 skeins of this, which was also in the sale basket. And I like how it's just got the odd little flecks on there. And then this also has the odd little fleck of lighter, so they kind of, I think they go quite well really. So yes, it is, today is my last day that I've had about 6 days off work, just to kind of clear my head a bit and catch up with myself and my thoughts, and yeah, I just wanted to really kind of crack on with the garden. And so I feel like all the hard work bit's done. But yeah, I booked the time off, and then it's rained every single day. And now it's the last day, the sun's come out, but I'm waiting on a delivery from Wickes so I can finish off the rest. But hey ho, I'll try not to digress. I've had a bit of a productive day today so far. I went to pick up my new glasses. That one's deteriorated a teeny little bit, so I needed some new lenses. And I was good, and we have, like, you know, like work, you sometimes get different benefits. I used my vouchers, codes, whatever you do, to kind of get free eye test, and I got these are the corporate frames, which I think were quite nice actually. Anyway, digress. But yeah, you know, you put the new ones on and you're like, I can see again. So yes, so that's my Elton sweater. What do I have next? One down here in my Piccalilli bag, just so cute. And this, same again, really enjoying it. I feel like I'm knitting it forever. Is the Amadeo summer sweater. Just took my notes. Which is by Calibri by Johanna. And I'm doing this in the She Loves Lair colourway by the Wool Chemist. So I've knit the body. Ta-da! And look at that. Oh, that's good lighting to see the sleeve pattern. And it's real, I mean, it's growing, it must be growing. I keep putting progress keepers in. But I would say I'm probably about 6 or 7 inches from the cuff, and they're quite like bell-bottom sleeves, so they're knitted straight and then like a rapid decrease before you get to the rib. So absolutely loving that. And yeah, it's not a speedy knit, but once you get through the drama that is the lace bit there, once you're on the main sleeve, you do kind of pick up the connection of the repeat. So like I can kind of like knit it now without looking at the pattern. And it's not too concentrated kind of thing, especially as every other row is just plain knit, which is nice. So yes, and I've got plenty of yarn. How many I've got left in here? I've got two. I bought 5 altogether, and I've got 2 in there. And so I've used about 2.5 so far, I'd say. Let me look at that. It's a really nice navy. Have I got the No, because that would be organised, wouldn't it? I'm pretty sure it's a 75-25 Super Roche Merino. Love this. Absolutely love this. So I think once I've cast off the body of the Elton, my next little goal is to get to the finish of this sleeve here, which I will going to have a look at the pattern because I just measured it against myself and I'm about up to about there. So I want to see how deep the rib is because I don't want to kind of like overshoot it. But then sometimes I think I've done the length that I need of the sleeve, and then when you put it on and wear it, all of a sudden it starts rising up. So, and with it being like a nice baggy sleeve, if the rib's tight enough, if you do it too long, it'll just have a nice overhang anyway. So I think I might just do an extra couple of inches just to cover myself. See the state of it, just bruises everywhere. This is from gardening. I don't even know how I do them, but I do. So yes, so those are the 2 ones that are like my evening knitting because they're getting quite big now. I then decided to cast on a pair of socks, and I was getting a bit fed up with myself of just constantly knitting like vanilla socks, and I thought, do something different, do something with a pattern, stop just doing plain stuff because you know you can do it. So I'm using my Gifter Ball by Rosie's Moments, and you can see I've got loads of goodies that are starting to come in, and it's a really nice colour, so like purples and greens, so I really like that. So I decided to cast on a pair of Vorticity. That's a really good lighting. So, and it is a bit of a, so I can stick my hands in there. So you can see like there's some eyelet holes there. And guess what? I've gone wrong. I have been following it, and I know that I've just gone wrong the last couple of rows. I did the first repeat, and then I went to go on the second repeat, and when I did that first row, I wasn't left with the amount of stitches. I had like a couple surplus, and I thought, So I tinked back that row, and did it again, same thing happened. So I tinked it back again, and I think I need to kind of go back a couple of rows. So yes. So I will see how I feel. It'd be good to get this kind of fixed, ready for like my commuting knitting, because it is small and portable, but I do have something else that might be my commuting knitting. Another thing that is kind of a new cast on. So a couple of years back, I made a Musselburgh hat for Craig's uncle. Sorry, I'm being nosy. There's a delivery truck. Oh no, he just turned around. I made the hat for his uncle. The first time making the pattern, and I remember him saying, "Oh yeah, make sure that it's large." You know what I mean? So I've got a big head and all this kind of thing. Well, I made it far too large, like really comedy, yeah. So then I ended up yeah, I sent it to him anyway, and then as I say, sadly, he passed away a couple of years ago. But his daughter was going through all the hand knits, and so they've kind of taken the socks, and I kind of described this hat, and I said, oh, I'd like to, you know, wouldn't mind kind of revisiting it. And so it's been sat in my pile to do for a while, and I tinked it all back, and I've put it back on the needles, which is really nice. So the yarn is Mr. Bird Street Yarns, what's it called? It's the Star Wars themed. Is it the dark one? The dark side? So I lay it down flat, and I put a hat that fits me, and just kind of like lay it, and kind of followed where the increases kind of went to. And obviously this isn't a long enough, it's not a long enough cable for me to show you, but it definitely feels a lot more normal size, shall we say. So I think I've got like, I think what makes it difficult is, but it's like a really flexible pattern. You can use it like whatever weight yarn you have and all that kind of thing. So I like that, but then it did it have a guide? Oh, it might have had a guide of how many stitches to kind of cast on. So it is a little bit of guesswork. So, but I'm feeling a lot more confident about this now. And you can see it's like when you're knitting a sock blank, oh, this bit goes all a bit wibbly. So yeah, so I took that to the cinema because me and Craig had a bit of a date day on Friday. We were both off work, and we went to the cinema to watch a bit of a scary movie called Obsession, which was really good, and yeah, nice and romantic. And then we went out then we had like a pub lunch, so that was nice. So yes, and I had all this all kind of all ready, and it was just nice round and round knitting in the cinema. And we had the Epic screen, because that was the time of the showing, this big screen, and we were the only 2 people in it. So if you want a quiet time to the cinema, a weekday in the morning is the time to go. So that is that. And then the other, like my last cast on to show you, also comes with a bit of my acquisitions. And I know you do not have to tell me, or tell you myself, I had absolutely no business buying yarn. The only thing that I had my brain was telling me, oh, in the pipeline, I do have a new baby cousin in the family that's on its way. Well, it's my cousin's great-grandchild, to be accurate, but I just call them all my cousins. She's expecting a little baby boy in October, and I thought, I remember not having much acrylic in my stash. I tend to just use acrylics for baby blankets, so you can just chuck them in the wash. And but in my head I was all like, oh yeah, I've got loads of time for that, and I went with my friends at a local knit group to Leeds Woolfest on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So I was all like, I've not really got the budget for it, kind of thing, but I just wanted to kind of go for the coffee and cake and catch up more than anything. But they had this stall and apologise, I just didn't really take many pictures. It was a very muggy day, and I wasn't hugely feeling it, to be honest. It was nice to see friends, but you know, when I don't know what it was, whether I just hadn't psyched myself up for it or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, there was this table which had, they were raising money for the, I've forgotten what it's called. I think it's the Bradford Guild. If I do some homework, I'll put what it was for. But they'd bagged up lots of donated wools or marked down wools, things like that, to kind of raise some money. And they're already kind of in polythene bags, already bagged up. Apologies for the crinkling. But I thought this was like perfect that I was meant to get there. So I got this aqua. So that was 200 grams of Stylecraft DK. Then I spotted this. So that was £2.50, I think it was. And then we've got 250 grams of DK acrylic there. That was another £2.50. So yeah, it's like Robin Landscape, so it's like a little bit of vintage. But as I say, they say it's machine washable. Perfect. There was another little bag. Here. Some of this, which is the Serda wash and wear. That was £1.50. And it had those 3 balls in, and I'll show you in a minute now. There was like a ball of the teal, which I've used up already because I cast on. And then I thought, I was worried that because of the baby blanket, I was worried that that dark blue, was it going to be too dark? And then they had a load of white. Look at all that! So that was 500 grams for £10 of Emu mix and match machine washable DK. So all that, which was like just over a kilo, was £16, which I really didn't think was bad at all. Because if I'd gone to like Wool Warehouse, I probably would have paid that and then the shipping and all that. So I thought, well, actually that's pretty good. So what am I making with it? I am making the knitted Stargan by Stephanie Castro. So I'll put a couple of pictures here because I've done 3 altogether over the years, and I just feel like it's a really fun pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry as well, which is really generous because I do think that there's a lot of work that's gone into this. It's not just like a plain stockinette. I would say it's a little bit fiddly, but just for that first hour. Once you get to this position here, so I used up one, because those little balls from Serda were 4-ply. So there was one of this, I mean it's more tealy in real life. So I just kind of held it double using the inside and the outside ends. So that, and because I only had one ball of that, I thought that'll be like the centre star. And it doesn't really look like a star at the minute, it's quite distorted. But the beauty is when you cast it off, which at that point you've got like over 1,000 stitches, it's quite a test. But it's just a really beautiful knit, and you can put whatever colours that you want to do. So what I'm going to do is because I've got loads of the white and some of the blues are quite dark, I'm going to do a stripe of white in between each colour. So yeah, so it's a good job that I started it and picked it up and everything straight away, because it's yeah, the baby's due in 10 weeks. So I'm gonna probably leave it there for today. What question can I ask you, so you can leave a comment on? Do you have like a go-to pattern when somebody says like they're having a baby? Do you tend to just give them a little cardie, or do you do a little blanket, or what's your go-to thing? Sometimes if I don't know the person too well, I might just do them like a little hat, because it doesn't take too long. But if it's somebody like in the family or someone like I'm close to, I do tend to do like a blanket, because I feel like babies just grow so quickly, don't they? That I feel like you give them the blanket and they'll have it for at least 3 years. Do you know what I mean? If not longer. So, but that's just my thing. So yeah, any like pattern recommendations that are your go-to? Drop a little message. And yes, I hope you are keeping well, and thank you so much for watching, and I will try not to leave it too late next time. And I hope you enjoy the gardening videos. I'm just waiting for some more stone and some more topsoil, and then yeah, I've also got a lady who's very kindly, one of the community groups, is thinning out some of her plants, and would anybody like some cuttings? I was like, yes please, yes please. So yes, anyway, I will stop wittering on and I will go off and get this edited for you to watch, and I hope you are having some nice time with your knitting, and let's hope that this weather picks up soon. Alright, take care, and I'll see you next time. So yeah, we've done most of the digging out, and I need to just dig out that last little strip there, and then I'm going to lay some topsoil on that bit, because that's going to be a path, and I'm going to put some weed membrane down, and yeah, I don't know how much of that I'm going to get done now. I mean, it is literally just a tiny bit of spitting, well, she says, but you know, it won't kill me, and I can always get changed and all that. So let's see what I can get done in an hour. So this is where I'm up to at the moment. I've got a lot more bags of slate that's on order, and a lot more bags of topsoil to come, and we've still got some compost there. So I'll show you what I've done. I like to thin this out. Oh, just spotted a weed. Out you come. So took all the black spot off there. This is a plant that my friend gave me. I don't know what it is, but we shall see if it likes it there. And we've got some primroses that she also gave me that I've just took off the dead heads and dead leaves. Put some compost in, and we'll see. Put some lavender that she gave me, and that in there. And strawberries again. And look, we have a little flower. And another couple there. It's very exciting. And here I think is a Helleborn. Oh, it's got a beetle on. Off you go. A couple more of the primroses in the plum tree. See what they do. Just a potato plant. And my beautiful rhododendron flowered. I need to weed this patch, but I've put a load of nutrient stuff down for the soil. I trimmed the bush back because I have my estuary enemy. A mystery plant, I don't know what that is. And I don't know what that is. I think that was a bulb. It might be a begonia. We shall see. And this is the pile that has shrunk, but yes, it's going to go to the tip. So it's starting to take place a little bit. And yeah, the border things don't. Like, this is like proper clay, so I'm having a think about that. I might kind of put it on top of to like do segments when I've got more levels of soil and compost up. I'm going to do like a little patch of here. I've got some what do you call it? Like seed bombs, like wildflowers, so I'm going to put that there, and yeah, still lots of thoughts, lots of plans. Yeah. Okay.